Okay. Would you please say and spell your first and last name?
Yes, my first name is Vanessa. That's Vanessa. My last name is Hicks-Callaway. That's Hicks hyphen Callaway.
Okay. And you were fixing your collar the right
Yes,
side.
is it
If you can
crooked?
bring it out a little bit more.
Okay. It's supposed to be over the blue.
Okay.
So let me see if I can get it to come all the way over and be flat. That's the
Mhm.
objective. Let's see.
That looks good.
Okay, thank you very much for helping me with
Okay.
that.
Uh-huh. All right. The very first question. What message are you sending to voters in Congressional District 35?
Well, the message I'm sending to voters in Congressional District 35 is that I am a candidate that they can trust. I have the experience, I have the qualifications, and I also have the preparation to be the next congressional representative for Congressional District 35. And it's very important that they elect someone who can do the job. So I was born and raised in Victoria, Texas, which under the guidance of my mother, who was what I call a steel magnolia. It was a fatherless home. So I managed to work my way through to obtain not just one college degree, but 3 degrees. I think that's important in an elected official. One of my degrees is in political science, where I learned about the three branches of government, which an elected official, a congressional legislator, needs to understand that the legislative branch, the judicial branch, and also, of course, the executive branch. But I have come up with an additional branch, and that's the branch of the people. We, the people, we want a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. So you need someone that understands that. I also have the experience. I've worked as a congressional staffer for the 27th Congressional District, where I was a field representative and also a constituent liaison, which means that I can establish an office on day one. I already have been to Washington, D.C. I have been there and done that as a congressional staffer. So I have that experience. I actually work for United States Senator Ted Cruz on the campaign side. I was his field representative when we were battling against Beto O'Rourke, and we did that very successfully. And I'm also a two-time Texas Governor Greg Abbott appointee. And so I'm demonstrating that I have the qualifications. And I've worked in the GOP. I've been a secretary, I've been a precinct chair, I've been a state delegate and also a county delegate. I've been to the convention many times, trying to help write the platform for the Republican Party and to make sure that we elect the right Republicans into office. So that's what I mean when I say I have the experience and the qualifications, and let alone I served the United States Army for 26 years. I'm a two-time Combat Bronze Star veteran. I supported Operation Iraqi Freedom and Operation Enduring Freedom. All of that to say that I'm qualified, experienced, and prepared. That is the message I want to send to the voters of the Congressional District 35.
And how does the newly drawn district map impact your campaign?
Well, it actually gives my campaign what I consider to be an opportunity. As you know, prior to the redistricting, this was really tailored for Greg Cesar, the Democrats, et cetera. And now that the maps have been redrawn, this paints an opportunity to bring conservatives in to have a greater opportunity at winning. So that's what this redistricting says to me. That's what it says to Republicans. And that's what it says to many of the conservatives that live within the 35th Congressional District. We now have an opportunity for conservative leadership, which is what I believe the Texans want.
And what are the biggest issues you're hearing from voters on the campaign trail?
Some of the biggest issues that I hear repeatedly is the water shortage issue, the water crisis. And so when I worked for the 27th Congressional District, we did have work that we did as it relates to water shortages. We did a lot of work in Corpus Christi to address that issue. And as you know, even Corpus Christi, they are under dire straits right now. So I want to leverage some of that experience that I learned about how to handle the water crisis, for example, to make recommendations, to do something with the current water infrastructure. It's very dated, it's old. According to my research, we are losing water as a result of our dated infrastructure that's actually causing water to leak out by thousands of gallons on a routine basis. So we've got to upgrade that. We also need to look at bringing in new, fresh ideas. For example, I love the idea about trying to use recycled water by trying to grab as much rainwater as we possibly can. This is equivalent to manna from heaven. We actually can solve a large part of our own problem by utilizing recycled water, by bringing in rainwater into some of our driest areas. And then also desalinization, taking water, removing all of the salt and sludge and all of that from it and purifying it is something that we're going to have to do. It's been done effectively in other parts of the world and also within the United States. So we can take these lessons and we can apply them and we can handle this water crisis. So that's one of the main things that I continue to hear repeatedly as I go up and down the campaign trail.
And last question, what sets you apart from your opponents?
Well, I believe it goes back to my qualifications. There are very good candidates. This is a crowded field. And I believe it's important that we not only select a good candidate, not only select a better candidate, you need to select the best candidate. And I truly believe that I am the best candidate. Like I said, with all of my degrees, I have three of them. I am pro God, I'm pro Christianity, I am pro President Trump, I am pro MAGA, I am pro also Israel, which is very important to the voters within the 35th Congressional District. I am also pro Constitution. I consider myself to be a five-star Republican. That's what sets me apart. I made this criteria up and I'll break it down for you. The top star is to be a Christian. This country was founded on Christian principles. And I think that's very important for conservatives to have a representative that understands that and that is a Christian. Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. The other star that I created that I believe is important for a Republican to have and be is to definitely have a love for this great country. You have people right now that actually espouse not to love this great country, and I do not understand that. So that's two stars. I love God, Christianity, and I love this great country. The next thing is to understand and love the Constitution. In particular, the Bill of Rights. I am a strong proponent of the Bill of Rights. For example, with the First Amendment, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, nor of the free exercise thereof, nor abridging freedom of the press, freedom of speech, freedom of the right of the people to gather peacefully, nor of freedom of the people to petition the government with a writ of their grievances. The Second Amendment being necessary for the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. The Third Amendment, we don't have to quarter soldiers that come into our area. The Fourth Amendment states that we have the right to protect our person, our papers, and our property against unlawful search and seizure. The Fifth Amendment, we have the right against self-incrimination and also to receive through eminent domain a fair price for our property just in case the government comes in and tries to take it for infrastructure or to bring in new roads, etc. We have the right to get a fair price. The Sixth Amendment, we have the right in order to have a speedy trial. The Seventh Amendment states that we can take someone to court for $20 or more in a lawsuit, which is very important. The Eighth Amendment, we have the right to be protected against any type of cruel and unusual punishment and against fines that are egregious. And the Ninth Amendment, that's the catch-all. We have protection for rules that may not necessarily be codified in the Constitution, but that does not mean we do not have protection. For example, if I go to the store, I want to buy a Coke instead of a Pepsi, I have that right. I don't have to have it spelled out for me in the Constitution. And the final, which is a part of the Bill of Rights, I know that we have 27 amendments, but I'm just going to talk about the 10th one, which is the right of the people, the right of the states to have individual rights, which is very important. So that's the Constitution. The next star that's important to me. So we've talked about Christianity. We've talked about love of country. We've talked about love of the Constitution. The next one is capitalism. You need to have a representative that understands capitalism. No, we're not Marxists. We're not socialists. We're not communists. We are not a part of that leftist progressive mentality as it relates to how the Constitution is written. Capitalism is the economic engine that really runs the world. I will be a legislator that understands that and will make decisions accordingly. So I am a capitalist. I believe in that. I am actually a Texas realtor and I love capitalism. I love going out there, yes, shameless plug, to try to sell homes. And then the last star in my 5-star criteria on why I believe I am the best candidate, the top choice to be the next congressional representative is that I am conservative. You must have someone that is conservative, that is willing to maintain all of those other elements in the criteria that I have created to establish how I define and how hopefully the voters will define who the best candidate really is.